Today we're going to draw Yoga Frog. And by the end, your pose may look different than mine, but we're going to start off by drawing the body. And how we're going to do that is starting off with a curve. This is going to be in the middle of your page. You want to have enough space for his arms and his legs. So, draw a curve, and this is going to be the head of your Yoga Frog. Then curve downward, and that's part of the body. Next step is to add the smile line. And this is going to be finishing off your Yoga Frog's head. So from that starting curve, I'm going to curve inward and draw like this smile-like line. And maybe my Yoga Frog is grinning a little bit, so I'm going to do that. Our next step is to close the body. And how I'm going to do that is from that little end point that we made at the beginning, I'm going to make a rounded shape down here, like that. And then I'm going to curve upward. And now we have our body. But sometimes frogs have two tones in them, and their outer layer is like darker than the inner layer. So I'm going to draw a little line going down so I can draw or color with two different greens in my frog. Making a straight line going down in the body. Our next step is to draw the eyes and the eyebrow. So I'm going to draw them up here in the face. And it's just going to look like two circles. 1, 2. Don't forget, there are pupils in our eyes. So those are the dark parts of our eyes. I'm just going to draw a tiny black circle in the middle of the eyes, like that. In the book, Yoga Frog had some eyebrows, so I'm going to go in and draw those. They were like little shapes that look kind of like rectangles. So I'm going to draw 2 rectangles above the eyes. And you can place them however you want. Mine are going to be pointing a little bit downward. And you can color them in later, but I'm going to color mine black. Just so you can see them. Okay. The next step is to draw what kind of pose you want your Yoga Frog to be in. And you don't have to copy mine. You can maybe choose your favorite pose from the Yoga Frog book. But mine is going to have his arm stretching upward and bent at the side, and having 2 legs going downward, but one is also bent. You'll see what I mean in just a second. I'm going to make my arm that's pointing upward, drawing 2 lines outward from the body. And the hands of frogs are kind of webbed, so I'm going to draw 3 triangle shapes. One like that, one like that, and this. So it kind of looks like the webs of a frog. So I got one arm. My next one I'm going to draw bent kind of at the hip. Looks like a V shape that's sideways. And then my 3 web fingers to look like triangles. And I'm going to draw 2 legs. On the bottom of my yoga frog, I'm going to start there. This leg's going to be stretched outward and to the side. Don't forget the little web feet. 3 triangles. Or 3 V's. Next, I'm going to draw the other leg, which is going to be kind of like bent forward. So maybe it looks like he's leaning into that one leg. Kind of similar how I did the arm. Okay, now I have my yoga frog. So once you figure out a pose, what I would suggest is drawing the background. I'm going to decide to draw my yoga frog on a lily pad. So maybe my yoga frog is doing yoga on the water, on a floating lily pad. Think of a fun idea to make your background. We need a background. You can't just have it blank. And your background can totally be different than mine. I'm going to draw the edge of my water. And some gravel or grass in the back. Some little curved lines for soil. And I'm going to draw these things called cattails, but they're generally on the sides of marshes or bodies of water, like ponds. And some leaves going off the side of those. Now I think my yoga frog is done, or my drawing for my yoga frog is done, and I'm ready to color. Don't forget, you need a background as well.